So I took the time already and wrote everything out, and then it gave me the option of posting a video, and thought for those of you who didn't want to take the time to read through everything that I would humbly use my voice and ask here as well. So I spent the last 21 days of COVID on the Daniel fast and praying, intentionally fasting from not only the foods that are outlined on the Daniel fast, but also from any non-Christian media and a couple of other more personal things. And during that time, just being very intentional to pray multiple times a day, asking God to reveal to me what are the next best steps for me to take in terms of building my life in this new place. I found myself not only facing empty nest, but also for selling pitch media. So we're without the career that I have had for the last several years, and we're also in a new physical place. So it's just a really, really new day, a new chapter for me, with no kids, no company, and building a new community. And what he revealed to me was through a lot of silence. I laughed and cried a lot throughout the fast and said, God, is it that you're making me fast from your voice as well? Because it felt very much like he was silent. And on day 19, the resounding message came to me that the reason for his silence was that I had spent my entire adult life asking everyone around me what they wanted and asking how I could support what it is that they wanted. And God was asking me to spend this time digging into myself and asking myself what it is that I wanted for the next second half of my life. And also on day 19, I started daydreaming with Cory about what it would be like for us to plant a church with all of the resources and the heart that we have, and our experience with the home church community that we loved so much. We felt most gratified and fulfilled during those years of our lives. And I could see on my husband's face that that was definitely not what he was ready for in the next chapter, and planting a church is not what I wanted, but I did find it very revealing, so much so that it brought me to my knees. That just imagining working in ministry was something that I had not considered, because I had so naturally done that as a volunteer, but that imagining it brought me incredible joy and a sense of wholeness. So the 2 days after that, my remaining 2 days of the fast, I just really prayed and wrestled, because I had been actively seeking a job so that I could be a relief for our family financially after an incredibly difficult and tumultuous year. This video is being made with the assumption that the people watching it are friends and family, and they have at least an understanding somewhat of what our family has been through in the last year with Aiden and the move to Costa Rica and the subsequent move to Montana. So I thought that I was coming up on a time when I would be able to, instead of being a financial burden, in many ways be a financial relief. And instead I was facing this realization that I really wanted to go back to school and seek my degree so that I could serve in ministry in a really meaningful way. So I spent a couple of days really feeling a lot of stress over that realization, and the last night of the fast had a nightmare surrounding the number that had been brought to me that would be my tuition cost. Woke up the next morning and shared with Cory that I'd had a nightmare, and found out that he too had been up most of the night surrounding or having a nightmare surrounding that same number as well, which we found to be not a coincidence. And we discussed it, and I shared with him that although I knew it was an illogical time for me to go back to school because of finances, that is really what my heart wanted. And I thought that would result in a conversation that was going to be difficult but necessary about how difficult things were right now, and it didn't. Long story short, not so long story, he just simply said, yes, I can see that you have given this a lot of thought, and that it's something that is just deep inside of you. I've heard you talk over the last 20 years since you left college, how much you've longed for a degree, and I want this to be something that you are doing for yourself. So I applied and got into Northwest University, which is a partnership program that we have here at Canvas Church, where my family has been planted in Montana. And so I'm off to the races. I got my acceptance the same time that a phone call came in from a friend who encouraged me to start this GoFundMe account. And in humility, I'm doing that. So thank you so much for listening to all of this and for your consideration. I really appreciate it. I don't know if I've said too much or not enough, but if I haven't made sense because I'm emotional, then I'm sure you guys will let me know, and I'll clarify and update this as needed. Thanks so much.